All right, moving on. Example number 2, draw a circle graph using technology. So we're going to try and use Google Sheets in this instance. The instructions here talk about Microsoft Excel, but it's a very similar process. So example number 2, draw a circle graph using technology. James surveyed his classmates to find their favorite type of milk. And the table here shows his results. So the type of milk, we've got 2%, chocolate, soy, and then other. And then the next column over is number of students. So 15 students liked 2%, 24 liked chocolate, 8 liked soy, and then 13 liked some other type of milk. We're being asked to create a circle graph to show the data. So step 1, open up Excel, or in this case, Google Sheets, and that's done. I've got a blank Google Sheet open here on the right-hand side of my screen. Part 2 is to enter the data into columns A and B. So I've got this table here, and I'm just going to recreate it. So I've got my type of milk is column A, and column B is the number of students. And then I just type in the information. So 2% milk, we had 15 people that liked that. Chocolate milk, we had 24 students that liked that. Soy, we had 8. And then lastly, other was 13 people. Now I'm just going to change the formatting on this guy here because it's sticking way out over on the right-hand side just because it's a percentage. I'm going to force it to the left so that it lines up nicely over on that side of my sheet. I'm going to double click on this line between B and C just to make this column a little wider so that it fits the number of students category. Actually, I can do that here to shrink A down a little bit so that it just fits as needed. So that's enter the data into columns A and B. Done. Click and drag to highlight the data. So I'm going to actually select the entire chart that I just typed. So now I've got 2 columns and 5 rows selected. Click Insert on the toolbar, and then click Chart. Unfortunately, this works for both Excel and Google Sheets. And when I do that, I'll wait for a moment and look at that. In Google Sheets, it's already created the circle graph for me. If you were in Excel, it looks like you would need to select a pie graph or a pie chart and then click Next and then do some other steps to finish it and get it just how you want it to look. You have to go through that process. You can see here there's a dialog box that pops up that you have to go through and set things up before it will post the pie chart onto your spreadsheet. In Google Sheets, it's a little more efficient. It's done that for me already. So I've got a pie chart here. Number of students, that I actually have to change. Let's see here. It's a pie chart. Number of students. So you can change settings here as well. This all looks good the way it's currently set up. I can go to customize. I can change colors. I can do all sorts of stuff to make this look nice. You can do a 3D pie chart. You can maximize some space. Don't think we really need to do that. I'm going to stick with the 2-dimensional effort at this point because that's what you can also draw by hand. In Google Sheets, you can give it a donut effect and put a hole in the middle. Depending on what kind of data you're going with, that might be useful. You can change the way the different pieces of the pie chart are labeled. You could stick the percentage or the label inside if you wish. or just the number that correlates to each piece. You could do percentages. You could do the number and the percentage. But I'm going to stick with just a label, I think. No, actually, I'm going to go to none on this particular one. I think that's the cleanest. Uh, the way it's labeled here with these lines, it shows you that green is the other category at 21.7%, 25% for 2% milk. You know what? Let's update this. Let's call it 2% milk. And you'll notice when I type up here, it automatically updates in the pie chart. So I put that in there just so that we didn't have 2% on top and 25% at the bottom. We didn't know what those percentages necessarily meant. So 2% milk helps keep that a little cleaner. So you can quickly see, well, that 25% of the people drink that. 40% chocolate and 13.3% soy. And yeah, you can change these values in your chart and it will automatically update the actual circle graph. I'll undo that and go back to the original data. So that's the process on how to build a pie chart in Google Sheets, nice and easy. Next up is a show you know. Give it a go.